Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. This is of course Movie Guy 808. Um, Today gonna go over some DVD and film releases that either need better releases, the original releases were either low budget or bare bones, just need more attention, or that I hope get Blu Ray releases. So these are films that don't get enough love essentially. So just gonna jump right into it here. One of my real favorites, and I really hope this gets a Blu Ray release, is the Andrew Dominik film Chopper with Eric Bana, Australian crime film from the late 90s, early 2000s, I want to say. Andrew Dominik went on to direct Killing Them Softly and also The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, both of which I liked. This is a very good film. Gritty, old school crime film. And it's based on a true story. It's very interesting. Eric Bana does a great job. Really hope this gets a Blu-ray release in the States. A film that actually only just came out to DVD recently, despite having come out several years ago, The Reflecting Skin with Viggo Mortensen. As you can see, it has a little first time on DVD stamp there. I believe this release came out in 2011. So just 2 years ago. And the film came out in the late 90s or so it's been out for quite a while. And this is not a very good print of the film. I mean, a lot of the colors are just washed out. It does not look very good. And for such a interesting and visually interesting film, you really need to get a good print to really appreciate it. So I'm not happy to have the film on DVD, of course, but would really like a better edition, better release of this to come out. I'm just going to run through a few that I've actually shown and talked about before, but again, wish these were on Blu-ray, so just going to run through them real quick. David Cronenberg's Scanners, want that to get a Blu-ray release. Ken Russell's The Devils, I would like for that to get a Blu-ray release. David Lynch's Eraserhead, be cool if we could get that on Blu-ray. A Korean film, Memories of Murder, kind of a serial killer thriller, came out probably about 4 or 5 years ago. But really good movie. I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. A very realistic kind of cop crime thriller. I mean, the cops in this are just so incompetent and have no idea how to approach this serial killer that keeps striking. And it's very realistic. I really enjoyed this. Hope that gets a Blu-ray release. This is a very powerful film. Very dark, very depressing. One of the more realistic and harrowing war films you'll ever see. One of my favorite war films. It in no way attempts to glamorize war or at all. I mean, this is brutal. I mean, this is the bare bones stuff. This is a great film. The main actor in it, that boy, is absolutely incredible in this movie. The difference in his face between the beginning of the movie and the end speaks volumes, and he did an incredible job. This film was actually a Russian film produced in the Soviet Union in the 80s. An incredible film. If you can get your hands on this, because it's not easy. It's you can find it, but it's usually pretty expensive. Would really like that to get a Blu-ray release. Another war film. This is actually more of a documentary kind of film, Armadillo. About Dutch troops in Afghanistan, in the current Afghanistan war. They get some very good footage in this film. It almost seems scripted, because that's how good of a job the filmmakers did. They get some amazing shots. It almost seems like a scripted war movie. They did such a good job of putting this together. But it's quite a powerful documentary. And at the end, there's some very tough scenes to watch. Obviously, the war, very violent. Kind of the effect it has on the troops is visible, to say the least. Great movie. Hope that gets a Blu-ray release at some point. They released Restrepo on Blu-ray, which is kind of a similar Afghanistan documentary, but at the same time. But this, of course, being a Dutch film, doesn't get as much attention in the States, but very good. I was all set to show Candyman, which I really hope gets a Blu-ray release. I saw that there's a Region B European release out there that you can get your hands on. I do have an all-region Blu-ray player, so I could get that, but this really needs to get a American Region A release. Classic. Another great horror film, a little more recent. Talked about this one before. Inside, the French horror film. I have decided this is one of my more favorite horror films to come out. One of the the new age neo horror types of movies. This is one of my favorite ones. I've decided. So I hope that gets a Blu-ray release at some point. Okay. So Zatoichi is a great film, and I do hope that gets a Blu-ray release. I'm not even sure if it may already have one. But the one I really want to see is Sonatine, by the same director, Takashi Kitano, or Beat Takashi as he's known. Sonatine is an absolutely classic Japanese Yakuza gangster film. I love that movie. And I'm glad to have this DVD release because it's usually pretty hard to find. There is no individual release, at least not in the States. I think there's was obviously an Asian release, but I believe there's a European release as well. But in the States, the only way you can get this on DVD is in this 2-pack, which I believe is out of print. But that's a great movie. I hope Sonatine, I mean, if it only got its own release on DVD, I'd be happy. But if it got a Blu-ray release, that would be amazing. Moving right along. A couple more Asian films. Twilight Samurai. Great samurai film from last 4 or 5 years, maybe. Pretty recent. Was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, as you can see on top there. Not by any means an action samurai flick. There's hardly any violence in this. It's not that type of movie. It's more about the life of this man. His wife has passed away, and he's left alone to raise his children. And he dedicates his life to that, but other aspects of his life kind of are on the downturn. But just his struggle to take care of his family, and his shogun asks him to perform some things that he definitely disagrees with, and his struggle with that. But just very well acted. The couple scenes of action that there are incredible. I mean, they're amazing. But also won a number of Japanese Academy Awards, Best Film included. This is an amazing movie. This really should have a American Blu-ray release. This is a great film. Also, Bittersweet Life. Another great film. A lot of people can compare this to Old Boy, if you've seen Old Boy. Quite different. I wouldn't really compare it to that. I mean, it kind of has an interesting visual style, like Old Boy does, but apart from that, not too many similarities, other than the fact that they're both great movies. This is a great film as well. This is a European release. Can't get this in the States, really, or it's very difficult to find in the States, but really should have a Blu-ray release. Good Shepherd, the American CIA movie directed by Robert De Niro, starring Matt Damon. Don't know why this hasn't gotten a Blu-ray release. I mean, this is a great film. When Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy came out, that kind of reminded me of this. And that, of course, got a deluxe Blu-ray release, so I don't know why this hasn't gotten one. Obviously, the genre of movie doesn't determine whether or not it gets released. There's distribution rights and all sorts of things that go into it, but a great movie, and I wish this was on Blu-ray. This is a cool flick. I believe this is a Dutch film as well. I think so. Terribly Happy. A Dutch film that came out probably in the late 2000s, 2007, 2008. Great film about a cop that gets assigned to a small town and how it's not anything like he expects. Really well done, great music, great photography. Hope that gets an American Blu-ray release. Terribly Happy. And then just a couple things that got released on Blu-ray that I'm happy to see that weren't on it for a really long time. I'm just going to run through these. The Insider finally got a Blu-ray release after quite some time. A lot of people forget about this movie. They don't talk about it anymore. I really enjoyed it, The Insider. Two great Alejandro Jodorowsky films that are now on Blu-ray, El Topo and Santa Sangre. Both great films, my two favorite Jodorowsky films. Holy Mountain is great. I know that's on Blu-ray as well, but these are my two favorites. So I'm glad I have those. And Return of the Living Dead, classic zombie film. I think they messed with the soundtrack, which has a lot of people upset, but great movie. Glad to have it on Blu-ray. And that's going to do it, guys. Just a few things that I hope get released on Blu-ray and better releases. So catch you later. Bye.